Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the CAD Division Guy. In this episode we're going to be continuing our series on JavaScript, and we're going to take a look again at the 2D CAD multiplier and what that brings us when combined with JavaScript. In the first two episodes of this mini-series we took a look at some of the different CAD options like text box and leader that we can add into assembly level, and in today's episode we're going to focus on adding dimensions. We're going to cover this in today's episode and probably in the next episode as well, and then we'll get on to some practical examples of how we can implement CAD. So before we begin today, I just want to highlight again, if we head across to the help file, there's a lot of information in the help file, and this is what I use as a reference for all the different properties. So I'm just under JavaScript CAD objects, and you'll see that we've got the CAD objects in here from the last episode, and if we take a look, we've also got the dimension objects as well, and I'll probably refer back to this today. But from here, what you can do is you can check all the different properties that can be set when we're creating a dimension, as well as all the different methods, and there's some handy images in here as well, which does make life a lot easier. So for today's example, I'm adding CAD into two assemblies, and I'm going to add this through elevation view. In the previous episode we added it through plan view, so I thought I'd do something slightly different here. I'm going to start out by showing you what the UCS does, and then we can take a look at the code that creates the dimensions for us. So I'm going to start off with my assembly on the left hand side here, and you'll see the first option that I've got, because I'm using attributes to drive the dimensions, is we've got add simple dimension. And what this does is it just adds a dimension for the width and the height of the assembly. You'll also notice that I've got dimensions turned off currently under layers. So we've got dimensions turned off, but we need to make sure that we've got annotations turned on, because that's the layer that our dimensions and JavaScript CAD is added to. We can specify quite a few different properties when we're creating dimensions, and CAD for that matter. So again, I'm just going to head back to the help file, and you'll see some of the properties that we can set for CAD is we can provide a style if we've already got CAD set up, and we can set this to things like layout or assembly. We can specify things like line width, we can specify tail options, arrow options, tick sizes, and whether we want a tick left and a tick right. We've also got text options in here as well, because obviously we've got the text of the dimension. In the example that we're going to look at today, I've added quite a lot of these in, just to give you an idea of how they would be used. So back to our UCS. And if I click on my assembly again, you'll see that for this one I've included an offset. So if I want to, I can offset the current CAD just as one of the properties that we're setting. The next option that I've added in is an aligned dimension. So this is traveling from the bottom side of the assembly right up to the top and measuring the angle. If I start to stretch this out, you'll see that our CAD updates accordingly. I've also added in an angular dimension. So if I enable this one, and this is just measuring the angle at the base of the assembly. So this will be really useful if we're doing vaulted assemblies from the face or from the side. I've also added in an example for an internal dimension as well. So this is measuring the case opening of the assembly and placing a dimension for us. And I've also added in an example for the radius too. So if I just enable this one, you'll see that this is measuring the radius from this size here. So let's take a look at the code that's creating our dimensions. Today we're purely going to focus on the simple dimensions and the properties that we can set for each dimension, and then in the next episode I'm going to be taking you through all the different dimension types that we can add. So I'm going to head up to utilities and UCSs, and we've got an add assembly CAD dimensions example UCS. Now, if you haven't seen our previous episodes on adding CAD via JavaScript, I'd recommend that you go watch them, just because they explain a little bit about things like the BRG to color ref functions and how we handle different colors when we're introducing CAD. So I'm going to start off by going through from the top, obviously down with the UCS. We've initially got a function for returning our colors, which is in the hex value. We've then got a function getParameter, which we're using down here when we're setting parameters that enable us to toggle some of the dimensions on and off. We've also got another parameter down here, or attribute, remove CAD, which allows us to remove these items and remove the CAD from our plan view. We've then got a variable here, plane, which is in the XY axis. So we're adding this to the elevation view. We can also add to plan view and to end view as well if we're creating this on cabinet level. We've then got the color that we're introducing our CAD to, and we're using again our function from above, the BRG to color ref. So we're setting our BRG colors in here. And then we're also setting a parameter CAD show, and we're specifying 3 for this because what we're actually doing is we're adding the CAD to assembly level, and we want to be able to view this on room level. So with the CAD show parameter, that essentially allows us to do that. And then the next thing that we do with our UCS is we do this.remove CAD, and then we provide the axis or the plane where we want to remove the CAD from. Now, the reason that we do this is because when we're adding CAD to assembly level, this works like any other modification that we make to assembly level. In the background, it adds an override and essentially stays with the cabinet as we've initially added it. So without this, if we add our simple dimensions and then stretch our assembly out, the CAD won't update. But if we remove the CAD first and then re-add our dimensions in, it will add the updated dimensions based around the new assembly size. And we're then onto our first section where we're adding our simple dimensions. So we've got a simple check to make sure that our attribute has been ticked. And then we create the CV dimension object, and we've just called this simple dim. So this is underscore CV system.create object, and then we pass the CV dimension. We then check and make sure that it's not null, and then we give the dimension all these properties in this section here. I've included a little bit of example code. Again, in the help file, we have all the different properties that can be set for the different dimensions. So if you're querying anything or wondering anything, just go check it in the help file. So to start us off with, we've got the simpledim.style, and this sets the dimension style itself. And if you'll notice, I've got mine set to layout. And if I just close this down for a second and head into our dimension styles here, this would be one of the styles that you have set up in the system. So if we don't set any other properties for the dimension itself, it will follow the dimension style that we've got set. So this one's really handy if you don't want to set obviously the properties of the dimension and you just want to follow whatever you've got set up on your local PC. I've set the dimension style here, but in reality, because I'm setting all the other properties for the dimension, it's actually going to follow the properties that I've got set here. So you may not need to actually include that in your example or your UCS. The next thing I'm doing is I'm handling the color. So I'm setting that to be my color ref, which is my variable that I've got up here coming from my function. I'm also specifying the text height, so I've put the text properties into one group and then I've put the line properties in another. So we're specifying the height of the text that we want to appear for the dimension. We're specifying that we want the text to show. Now this is set to true by default, but we can obviously set it to false if we don't want to show the dimension itself. We can also specify bold. Again, by default this is set to false, but we can set it to true if we want our dimension to appear in bold. We can also specify, and I'm going to do this one first, that we've got a frame around our text, which I've got set to true. And then we've got a text clearance, which is the clearance around the frame for the dimension itself. We can also specify a font for the dimension, so we've just got this set to simple Arial. We can also specify the vertical position, and this is where I've included some examples in here. And we can also specify a horizontal position as well, so I've got mine centered at the moment. The next property is line show, so again we can set this to true or false. I think it's true by default, whether we want to show the lines for the dimensions. And then we've got the line width down here, and I've got that set to 1/2. Again, I've included examples of all the different settings that we can set this one to. And then we've got the option line extend, which is currently set to false. I'm going to set this to true for a second, just show you the result. So you'll see once we set that to true, we get the extended line through here just on the end, and I'll turn off the other dimensions so we can just see our basic dimensions in here. There we go. So if I head back to my UCS, I can also specify whether I want a tail on the dimension itself, and I can also specify a tail offset in here as well. And if I just set this to false, and I'll set this one to false as well, you'll see these two tails here just disappear. We can also specify the different options for the arrow. So I've got the arrow size, which is set to 2 at the moment. And then in here, we've got the different arrow types. So at the moment I'm using a dot, but what we could do is set this to being a closed, and I'll do a different one on the left and right. So I'll go with an origin here and then just show you what that looks like. There we go. And then back into our UCS. We can also display the tick. So if I just uncomment these sections down here and then head back out, you'll see that we then get these 2 lines at the start and end of our dimensions. Now the last thing that I'm doing is actually choosing to add the dimensions themselves. So I'm doing my simpledim.setSimple, which is the command that we use in, and then I'm giving the coordinates of where I want the dimensions to be. So this one is the horizontal dimension, so we've got the X position first. So I want this to start from 0 on the left hand side. The Y position is always minus border, so we can create an offset for the dimension. And then the second position for the X is this .dx. So we've got the start positions and end positions. And then we do this .add CAD. We pass the plane or the axis that we want to add the CAD to, and then we add our simple dimension. Now, before I add the vertical dimension, I actually changed the tail offset, which we're not displaying at the moment. But currently it is minus border, which works for the horizontal dimension, but we actually want to set it to be a positive number for the vertical dimension. And then for the vertical one, we do simpledim.setSimple. And then here we're fixed in the x-axis, so we start off minus dim border first. Then we start off from 0, which is the bottom of the assembly. Again in x, we're still minus dim border. And then we do this.dy for the vertical position. And then after that we do this.add CAD, and again we pass the plane and the simple dim. And this creates us the dimensions that we can show on screen at the moment. Hopefully you found this episode useful. Feel free to give us a like, share and subscribe. We're also on Facebook, that's facebook.com/thecabinetvisionguy, and Instagram too, that's instagram.com/thecabinetvisionguy. Join us in part 2 when we look at some of the other different dimension types that we can add in. And then we'll be looking at adding CAD to part level for both dimensions and general CAD. Cheers!